Hello YouTube, welcome to Super Lorcana World. This is the video where I want to talk about Shift, a ruling that was told to us by Lorcana Ravensburger earlier in the week. And I want to dive down into the Shift cards we have and how they work and what the mechanic actually does for you. Is Shift a good thing, a bad thing? And let's just talk about it. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because we do only have 4 cards that Shift right now. But I think this ability can really scale as the game goes on and could potentially do some very nasty things. But let me know what you think in the comments, of course, and like and subscribe. Do appreciate it. Let's talk about Shift. So how Shift works is you play the character on top of the other character by paying its play cost. We have a Shift 3 in Aurora, a Shift 4 in Stitch, a 5 on Aladdin, and a 6 on Hades. So you got to pay that cost, and you have to put it on top of a pre-existing Stitch, Aurora, Aladdin, Hades, whatever. Okay, cool. Damage counters go to the new one, to the new Stitch or the new Aurora, whatever. You get to keep the damage counters. If the character was already exerted, it stays exerted. If the character was on the board previous turn, and you shift, and you're not exerted for an attack, a quest, or whatever, you can do that. So that's really good. Now, unfortunately, you do not get the lore counters on the right-hand side of the previous card. They do not carry upwards to the big one. So if we take a card like the Little Stitch here, for example, Little Stitch here only has 1 lore counter. True. So that 1 little lore counter will not carry to this Stitch and have a total of 4 lore. No. It's just the only lore you get is the lore that the shifted character does have on it. So that's how it works. If it dies, they all die underneath it, whatever. That's how Shift works. So now that we understand how the mechanic works, honestly, it's very strong. Solely by the fact that they don't have summoning sickness per se. They keep the damage counters, which I think is healthy, otherwise it'd be really crazy, like a free heal. That'd be kind of insane. But they do keep the damage counters, and they can do things to turn they enter play. They are unaffected by summoning sickness or ink drawing or whatever you want to call it. So now I think that's very powerful. So what interactions do we have with the first 4 cards already? Let's start with Aladdin. Aladdin's situation is really cool because so far all the other 3 Shift characters are within the same ink. We actually have an Emerald Aladdin going into a Ruby Aladdin. This is one of the more expensive ones, Shift 5. The soonest you can get this card out is turn 4. Yep. Turn 4 is the soonest you can get it out with both colors, because that's just unfortunately how it was intended to work. You have to play your Green Aladdin turn 2 and then turn 3. Find a way to maybe ramp some ink if it exists. If it doesn't exist yet, then the soonest you can do is turn 5. Unfortunately, with those color combinations we have right now, because red doesn't have any ramp of any kind, green doesn't have any ramp of any kind, but that'll probably change. But anyway, so you turn your 2-drop into for 5. During your turn, when this character banishes another character in a challenge, gain 2 lore. Each one loses 2 lore. Good multiplayer. In addition to that, it might sneak attack your opponent and steal their life away. That's pretty powerful. So I do like it. Yeah, it's a little expensive, but that's okay. Speaking of really expensive, though, Hades is the most expensive by far. Hades does benefit from having cards like Lantern. So, like, you can do a turn 1, do nothing. Turn 2, play a Lantern. Turn 3, use that Lantern, whatever. And 3 ink, play the regular Hades, the one we have here. I don't know if you want to do that because you don't get the value from the Well of Souls. Unless you had a 1-drop, you played turn 1 and it died or whatever. Okay, sure. But then you play this turn 3 effectively. Turn 4, you need another turn to set up. Another Lantern, another ink. Then turn 5, you can finally do this. This card is definitely win more, in my opinion, in my testing. It's a fun gimmick. Just seems like a lot of hassle. If we get more build around on it, it's probably going to be a lot better. But until then, I would probably avoid it. We'll see what happens, though. We never know what we're going to get. Now we have the cheapest shift combo, Aurora, that can shift for 3 for our 5 cost. And everything else is war. I think that's really powerful. But the combo here, turn 2, drop this. Turn 3, drop this. That's as simple as it gets. Good value, quick one. You love to see it. And now we talk about the Stitch combo, which, by the way, Stitch triggers off Adoring Fans, which is really, really powerful. I've talked about that before. But, thanks to playing Amber, turn 1 Stitch, turn 2 Lantern, turn 3 ink plus Lantern equals Stitch for shift. And then you can quest for 3 turn 3. That's pretty good. And then you start triggering its Adoring Fans and you start drawing cards. It's gravy. It is really, really nice. And that's all we have for Shift right now. So I hope you guys can kind of see how Shift really enables you to make bigger plays, right? Like in the case of Aladdin, it gives you immediate offensive pressure that is annoying to your opponent. In the case of Aurora, it's cheap value. Stitch can be cheap value that gets you a lot of cards because of the Amber, which is really good. And Hades is kind of win more right now, but it's still, you build around it, you probably do amazing things. That's it for Shift. That's all I got. It's a very quick rule. I don't need an 8-minute video to tell you how Shift works. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did I miss anything? Did I mess something up by accident? Please let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys later. Bye.